Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpalapse with Alzroy Galcon, where in the last episode we found out that someone opened up the Pandora's box and yeah, it was Arturo after all, the ultimate golfer, and it was like complete accidental as well. I felt pity of him. Yeah, that's basically on the previous episode. If you do want to watch it, we in the previous episode we are doing the investigation as well as the class trial. And yeah, I didn't expect that it was actually pretty short. Well, it is actually for Danganronpa Chapter 1 standard. And thankfully, it's not like Project Eden's Garden where it lasts for one entire hour. No, sorry, not entire hour, I mean 4 hours. Anyway, if you do like this kind of content, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you will not miss out on anything that I put on this channel. Everything is free, you don't need to pay, and by subscribing you make this channel grow and flourish even more, which makes me happy so I can create more content for you to watch. Yeah, let's go, moving on to chapter 2. So yeah, I'm still going blind with this one. I have no idea what will happen next, so let's just see. A deep pulsing darkness filled every crevice and fold, bleeding through razor-thin cracks, drifting unevenly between a nauseating black sea and a stifling destitute vacuum. Obscurity murmured and bubbled beneath the heavy velvet pall. Competing vibrations through the void pounded and shook the air with a stiff, rich chord. The staccato hum echoed, threatening to break the eclipsing shadow. Echo. Echo? Echo! Ouch! I opened my eyes as a swift and sharp pain struck my face. Hey, what gives? Missy was standing over me, her hand poised in a way that suggested she was the one who had firmly woken me up. I'm sorry, Echo, but I had to wake you up. I shook you, but you didn't react, so... I blinked several times as I rubbed my left cheek, my vision adjusting to the surroundings. It seems I was in either Missy or Ashley's personal room. I sat up in the bed to see Ashley sitting at the foot of the bed. Just in front of me, Missy was on my left in a spare chair. Ashley! Missy! What happened? Well, for starters, it's about 9:15 p.m. You seem to have passed out after the trial earlier this evening. Ashley and I were concerned, so we've been monitoring you to make sure you were safe. However, I was worried. You stopped breathing in your sleep. I stopped breathing? I can't have you leaving us so shortly after we lost our other two friends. I hope that your newfound title of Ultimate Memory does not begin to fail you so soon. Ultimate Memory? Oh yeah, that's us. We've gained that title in the previous episode. That's right. Just yesterday I thought I was an ordinary student with no extreme talents or skills, and yet, in the courtroom, a revelation came to light and I was given the unique title of Ultimate Memory. But whatever that entailed, I wasn't too thrilled, because despite that revelation, it wasn't the strangest thing to occur. Oh, that's right. When it changed, when they died, unfortunately, oh, that's sad. Oh, I bit back my words and tears thinking about Pandora and Art. The truth was hard to swallow. Throughout the trial, many of us struggled to find footing in the discussion. None of us wanted to believe any of it. The murder, and following it, the execution. The three of us sat in silence, haunted by the dark happenings of the courtroom. I looked solemnly at the other two. Missy and Ashley's faces told all, a tapestry of remorse and distress. Well, what's important is that you are alright now, Echo. Yeah, thanks you two. I'm relieved. Ashley's voice was a whisper. First the door trap, then this. We exchanged a few words, but we knew from emotion alone how heavy our hearts weigh. Missy breathed a tense sigh. Just the other day, Missy was composed, but now... A voiceless iron curtain hung over us. There were so many things to address, but fear choked our dialogue. I looked up to meet Ashley's cheerful gaze, and looking just past her, I saw something bright sitting on a cabinet in the corner of her personal room. Oh, so I guess we are in Ashley's room then. I don't think I've ever seen these two sprites before. I think I think it's only appeared in chapter 1. It was a helmet. Ash? Hmm? What is it, Echo? That helmet over there. When we when we first met up, I remember you saying you didn't have any personal possessions, but ah, yeah, I didn't mention it on the first day. I didn't want to talk about it then. Sorry, you don't have to. No, I think this should be brought up. Ashley's face sunk. She turned to face the cobalt blue item. I'm sure you can recall what I told you about the person this helmet belongs to. I nodded gently and Ashley sighed deeply. Missy was quiet, politely listening. I got in a fight with my friend, another ultimate student, Silva Prower, race car driver. That fight was about the very preservation project we're involved with now. The project was but a low whisper among ultimate students. Word was that we will be offered state-of-the-art living and protection, seeing as our talents will be of great worldly benefit. As soon as I received my offer to join, I could not say no. I asked Silva if he had accepted as well, but Silva declined, wholly disagreeing with the offer vehemently. He doubted the validity of a private group that only existed in the hopeful hearsay of strangers. But what position was I to deny safety when it had been offered so graciously? Oh, that's a trap, Ashley. Those people who wanted safety and protection will eventually get none. With our differing opinions on the matter coming to a clash, he eventually gave up on me entirely. Yet against his wishes, I made attempts to get his name in. And look where we are now. So this room, I guess it was supposed to be for Silva then? Ashley began to tear up and buried her head in her hands. I'm such an idiot. Her voice trembled. Ashley, you're not an idiot for caring about our friend's well-being. I was foolish for thinking the killing game would go away if I remove Echo from being involved in my troubles. Being involved with ultimate students only leads to ultimate levels of trouble. But I was wrong for thinking I could shoulder tragedy on my own. Ashley looked at me with pleading eyes. They were filled deep with sorrow and regret. I'm sorry, Echo. I realize now that it's more important than ever. I'm sorry, Echo, that I realize now that it's more important than ever that we stick together. She grasped my hand firmly, but her own hands were shaking from fear. It was only natural. I felt a tear fall from my face onto the back of Ashley's hand. But they were hugging now? Mrs. voice slipped in. Why don't we get something from the dining hall to unwind? Everyone seemed rather tense and I think taking a beat could help us de-stress. Huh? How could you think of getting a snack at a time like this? I heard my voice cry in desperation. Pandora and Arch's life were just taken away. I'm sorry, but I don't think we're of sound mind right now. That's right. We should not waste time doing nothing. Then, what would you suggest we do? We need to escape. Missy, you're the ultimate tactician. I'm begging you. Wait, you forgot that she was the ultimate tactician for politician, not strategist for combat? Come up with something, anything, any sort of plan to get us out of here. What's the point of ultimate talents if we can't do anything with them? Missy flinched. She looked away, attempting to hide her reaction. I realized what I had just said. I, I'm sorry. I went too far. Echo, it's fine. However, Missy's words betrayed her emotions. She must have felt tense after everything as well, but she tried to retain her composure nonetheless. I let out a deep sigh. I'm sorry for losing my temper. You're right. A snack could help clear my head. Missy. Missy's expression eased, but she said nothing. Rather, she slowly got up and offered a hand for me. She helped me out of bed, and we quietly made our way to the dining hall. Oh, it's gonna be different without Pandora as well. Oh, Jura, what are you doing? The halls were eerily quiet, as if even sound were draped underneath the shadow of the evening lighting. Oh. Okay. In the dining hall, we saw Forte sitting in his lonesome. Evening, folks. Forte's voice was a low mumble, his posture stone. He sat with hands clasped on the table, resting just before the dining table centerpiece, Pandora's basket of pastries. Oh, that's the last thing Pandora gave for us? Aww. Missy's idea to get a snack was quickly dashed when we were met with the memento of Pandora. My stomach was twisted. Are you alright, Forte? The answer was plainly painted on his face. No one was sound mind after what we just witnessed. Even though he didn't answer outright, the question alone gave him a bit of comfort. Indeed, it will be a while yet for me to come to terms proper, but toujours en roche après une chute. Always rise after a fall. Always rise. Wait. When did you ever learn on how to speak French, Ashley? Pain exists so we can grow and learn from it. What we do with this feeling of misfortune is what will motivate us to move forward. We learn from tragedy and grow forward. It's really all we can do. I must imagine Art was deserted. Regardless, his generous fixings, being driven into a companionless corner like that will make anyone miserable. And being here now, with our friends Missy and Ashley, as well as the others, should teach us that we have friends all around us will feel anguish without one another. Alas, it's hard to think clearly when your mind has been clouded by despair. I feel terrible for Art. His swirling, desolate emotions pushed too far. I wish to make it known that I care for you all deeply. Forte's melancholic voice stung my heart. Missy and Ashley themselves had a wistful look in their eyes as they nodded in assent. We hardly knew each other, but I could feel the bond of our adversity bringing us closer together, our camaraderie knit together by a taut strings of fear. If I may, as a precaution, I suggest no one travel alone. It's too dangerous to be without a witness in the event something were to happen. It's not a thought I wish to entertain, but such steps may be necessary if we're going to be at the forefront of the killing game's unpredictability. I agree. And not only that, Cyrus' intense behavior could pose a potential problem. Huh? What happened with Cyrus? Well, after the trial, you recall what Zero said, correct? Yeah. Cyrus Surik. Yeah, I just realized that his name is literally Cyrus and then Cyrus, this one is backwards. The Cyrus Surik is actually Cyrus and then Surik is basically Cyrus written backwards. I didn't realize that until a couple of days ago. I actually rewatched Weeby's news livestream playing this game. Cyrus Surik is someone to be wary of. Don't worry, I'm not going way past my previous checkpoint, which was the end of Chapter 1, so yeah. And I'm still playing this one blind. I have no idea who are going to be the next victim and culprit. Ultimate charisma. is a terrible cover talent. After your collapse, he started acting suspiciously. Oh, I guess this is what happened when we go black out then? Huh. It seems I've garnered some distrust among you all. No thanks to that lousy Zero. Cyrus, what is Zero talking about? There's no use hiding it. I think a reintroduction is only appropriate. Oh my goodness me, what? This is like Maki's situation in Danganronpa V3. Oh my goodness. But instead of after the end of Chapter 2's class trial, this one's right after Chapter 1's class trial. Cyrus Zurich, ultimate confidential informant for the Preservation Project. You with the Preservation Project? Of course, I rallied you all here after all. Is it you the one who dragged us here with the black, I don't know what it's called, I forgot the first episode. Well, basically, with black mist or something like that, and both us and Ashley, well, not us here means Echo, both Echo and Ashley went unconscious. So what's with the facade? You're in this game too after all. Did you think you could keep up the nicest all the way through? That's for me to know. And all you need to know is this. You were all doomed from the moment you set foot here. No. The Preservation Project literally dragged our foot in here while us being unconscious. Well, all of us did. I know for a fact, nothing you do will save you from this game. Was that supposed to be bluff as well? And then he crept out of the courtroom, leaving us all confused to say the least. After that, Missy and I rushed you to my room so you could get your rest. Say and Canon have been unresponsive all evening. I don't know how Lyle is faring, but he is likely in similarly despondent shape. They've retired to their rooms as far as I know. However, if anyone would like to explore, find a partner to keep yourself safe. I cannot guarantee everyone's safety, nor I can force anyone to follow my lead. But I hope you know I wish for everyone's safety. Missy was strained. She wished to protect everyone, but it was difficult since none of us knew what could happen next. I'm awfully curious about something though. As we returning to the foyer from the courtroom, I noticed that there was a button for the third floor lit in the elevator. Oh, the third floor is open now. Third floor. I saw that too. Missy, did you want to investigate the third floor? It's late, but I did want to make a brief round to see what's in store for us. I'll come with you. Echo, did you want to go back to your room for some proper rest? I imagine you've been quite fatigued lately. My stomach was in a knot. I didn't want to leave Ashley. No, it's fine. I'll come with you. Huh. I thought that the game will give us the options to go back to our room to have a good night's sleep or follow these two to go exploring the third floor. I feel kind of restless anyway. Walking around could help. Okay, but don't push yourself, alright? I nodded slowly. If you folks are going to explore, would you mind seeing me off to my living quarters? Missy and Ashley obliged and we all left the dining hall together. And ended up not getting food at all. That Pandora's basket though, that changed the mood for everyone and well, for the three of us. In the foyer, we saw Forte off as he retired for the night. In the foyer, we saw Forte off his. Oh my god, I couldn't speak English. In the foyer, we saw Forte off as he retired for the night in his personal room. Entering the elevator again, we traveled to the third floor that had recently opened up. After a low rumbling, the elevator stopped, revealing the new area. A digital kiosk was just outside the elevator, displaying a map of the ground as we approach. Okay, so let's see. Oh, so There are some more living quarters here, and there's a casino, a garage, an art gallery, and a smokehouse lounge. A smokehouse. I I don't know. Like, did anyone here smoke or something like cigarette smoke? The third floor landing hall lead toward a single main hall that split into 4 rooms, 2 on each side. 4 new active. Oh, sorry, that's Missy's voice. 4 new activities amenities are available to us. On the left, there's a smoke lounge connected to a casino. On the right is an art gallery connected to a garage. I think this is supposed to be a this is supposed to be a storage room, right? Like, there's no way a garage could have a car. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. It's unlikely for me. Maybe like a storage room, that would make more sense. But of course, they're close to us from 9 AM to 7 PM. However, Mrs. Voice trailed off. I followed her gaze to the smaller hallways that surrounded the perimeter of the main activity rooms. Familiar doors dotted the hallway. An unknown school emblem decorated the door, but Mrs. eyes were transfixed on one. That's... And Ashley herself was looking at another door that bore a similar emblem on it that I had seen on the race car helmet earlier. Huh? Oh yeah, the one on the left is on the race car helmet, isn't it? There was another full set of personal rooms on the third floor. I see, are we going to meet with more cast members? I mean, there are 4 of them, so I guess there will be an extra 4. Missy and Ashley looked at each other with astonishment. They swiftly ran to their respective doors, but before they could do anything... I see you have met the rest of your classmates. His flat, disembodied voice sent a chill up my spine. The 2 of them swung round to see Cyrus in a dark corner of the hallway. Cyrus continued, disregarding Mrs. and Ashley's grim faces. It's too late. Silva and Darling? They're out of the picture. Who's Darling? I guess as Missy knows that this Darling person? Ashley and Missy reacted to their respective names. Ashley and Missy reacted to their respective names. I remember Ashley telling me about Silva, so the other unknown was in relation to Missy. The atmosphere was suddenly heavy with paralyzing glares sent every which way. Why do you know this? What exactly do you plan to do with these threats? Huh. He shrugged indifferently, unconcerned with answering the question tossed his way. Cyrus, who are you? I'm the Preservation Project's informant. I was chosen to handpick the class that appears for this game. His leering eyes pierced the very air between us. But Echo Pine, they're different. I was immobilized at the sudden mention of my name. I didn't even know if I was breathing. The 3 stood at a stalemate, a palpable dread radiating from their deadlocked eyes. Please, stop your facade. Facade? You all heard Zero in the trial. The Cyrus you know before wasn't the real me. He blew my cover, so I'm here in full form. Oh. Cyrus let his threat linger. The estrogen potential for disaster amassed a lead weight at the bottom of my stomach. Missy and Ashley closed in on either side of me, bracing themselves against his possible machinations. Oh, I love that expression, by the way. But he just sulked away, Cyrus' husky low laugh melting into the darkness. I was dizzy with fear, but Missy's firm voice kept me grounded. Hurry, let's return to the living quarters. She grabbed my hand, leading me through the dark toward the elevator that was some ways behind us. We hustled into the elevator and rode back into the main foyer. Ooh. Back in the foyer, soft light from the chandelier glittered, delicately lighting the main hall. There, we crossed paths with Canon, who was isolated in the foyer once again. Canon? Ashley's voice was a whimper. Ashley's voice was a whisper that didn't seem to reach Canon's ears. We slowly approached her and saw her cold expression, but her face gave off a different demeanor somehow. Rather than the icy gaze, we were met with a stony, soulless stare. Canon, are you alright? I saw her come to, her eyes softening as she turned towards us. She murmured a quiet affirmation. Her cold exterior melted into a brief moment of vulnerability. Then my curiosity got the better of me and I capitalized the brevity of silence. Canon, I have to know, why did you run away when I collapsed from electrocution? Why did you run away when I collapsed from electrocution? It's only natural to feel fear when you see someone get hurt. Huh? I was frightened. It's odd. I wanted to leave this mansion as soon as I woke up, but something stopped me. She gripped the instant camera she had hung on her short wrist strap. When I woke in my personal room, with only this camera in my possession, I could not help but feel unnerved. So I stood in the foyer, wanting to leave, but felt unable due to a mysterious bad feeling. And as it turns out, that feeling was right. After I saw you scream and collapse, my suspicions were confirmed, but I didn't know what to do. I waited for anyone to come and see you so they could handle it. Forte. You know what happens from there. I left someone else to help you because I didn't want to deal with that event. Although her face was no less intelligible than before, her voice was shaking. She was just as scared, if not more, than I was. She desperately wanted to protect herself from being the one who would point out the culprit as long as possible, knowing she could not delay the inevitable revelation. Canon sighed heavily. Excuse me, I'm going to bed. Canon briskly walked towards the living quarters. Missy and Ashley gave Canon a soft goodnight each as she retired for the night. With nothing left to do in the dark of the night, we followed suit to our individual rooms. I guess it's goodbye, and let's see what will happen in the next morning. Ashley stopped me for a moment in the living quarters hall. Echo, let's take care of each other, yeah? Of course. That doesn't need saying. Ashley remembered something but cut herself off. Instead, she just gave me a hug. I closed my eyes and allowed myself to be swathed in the comfort of her embrace. I closed my eyes and allowed myself to be swayed in the comfort of her embrace. Good night, Echo. Good night, Ash. Entering my personal room, I felt more alienated. This personal room, the comfort and luxury must have been fabricated, creating a false sense of comfort. And behind that sense of comfort, a facade of terror and malice was hiding, a killing game with no remorse for the participants. I shook the nerves out and collapsed on the bed. I want to go to bed for a long time. Exhaustion overcame me and another day would come to pass. We still haven't gone into the Chapter 2 title screen card, so day 4, so we have 3 days left before this game ends, and Chapter 2, every fire is a lesson learned. Oh, who is that shadow? Knock knock. I opened my eyes at the sound of knocking. Huh? Pardon me, but good morning. That's Mrs. Viper's voice actually. It's Missy Vesper, outside for Echo. I looked at the time, 7:29. Good morning, Missy. I'll be right out. Take your time. I stopped the alarm before it rang and made myself presentable. I stepped out of my personal room to greet Missy. I noticed she was clutching a small item folded in cloth. Before I could ask about it, she started through the halls and I followed alongside her. What's going on? I'm gathering students for a personal announcement. I will elaborate when we arrive in the foyer. She raised the small item, indicating it was going to be the subject of her meeting. You're the last student I approached. Those who won't be present did not answer when I knocked. However, when I approached Shay, she replied through the door that she wasn't going to move at all. She said that if she was going to die, it will happen regardless of what she did. What? It was a shocking, fatalistic thing to say, but I wasn't going to force her out. That girl. Say worries me. Do you think she'll do something dangerous? I'm sorry. I meant that I worry for her well-being. I don't wish to be too demanding in my case. She may be offended or take it the wrong way, but... Missy sighed. She seemed upset that she could not do anything to help Say. I'm sure Say appreciates the sentiment. We just do what we can, right? I apologize. You're absolutely correct. Missy's expression eased as we finally arrived in the main foyer. In the foyer, I saw the small group of students Missy gathered. The group was composed of Forte, Canon, Ashley, Missy, and myself. So there's 6 of us. Oh, Canon is here. I thought, where's Lyle? I mean, we know Say won't be going, but where's Lyle? So Lyle, Cyrus, and Say could not make it. I'm not surprised Cyrus is absent given his behavior last night. And Lyle should be a person of concern as well, since he was so distraught from the conclusion we came to, discovering Art was the culprit behind Pandora's death. Art just wanted to protect us. It's not his fault that Pandora had an incredibly suspicious note. I don't imagine seeing her with that note help, what with his head being so of distress. That note is fairly damning. I never would have thought she would be in possession of such an oddity. But despite that, I feel like she had good intentions behind it. She specifically pulled me aside the night before to ask if I knew anything about the contents. That doesn't seem like something a mole would do, right? We pondered the source of the note, but we could not presume much about it without the strange item in our hands. So now I guess everyone got the same note as well, like the one that Pandora did, and are trying to destroy that note from the pool in the spa room, I guess. Our morning was already off to a rocky start. That brings me to what I have gathered you all here for. Missy had the floor, taking place facing the elevator at the centerpiece table, while the rest of us encircled the opposite side. Please do not be alarmed when I show you this. She placed a small cloth-wrapped item she had been carrying on the wooden table. It was a revolver with a note. Wow, who belongs to this? Did you just so happen to have everyone's locker room, like everyone's card, I guess, at some point? Did you find a way to fabricate the system? Missy, what's the meaning of this? I told Echo before, but I'll reiterate for the rest of you as well. I had plans to contribute my skills to the preservation project prior to the events of arriving here. However, upon arrival in my personal room, I found this revolver with the note tied to the handle. Canon looked over and carefully read from afar. As a student interested in working with the preservation project, one must attempt their hand in a single round of reverse Russian roulette. We believe every ultimate student, should they be destined to live and change the world, will surpass the incredible game of chance no matter the odds. I don't think the luck will be on you. You're not, you're not, who is it? I forgot the name. Yeah, you're not Komaeda. You're not the ultimate lucky students. All of you are not the ultimate lucky students. Reverse Russian roulette. A, a game, a game, a game of unbelievable chance. 5 out of 6 chambers in the gun are occupied with a bullet. The player is to spin the chamber, lock the chamber in, place the gun barrel against their own head, pull the trigger, and hope to survive. Without the knowledge of whatever or not a bullet will be fired, your life in the hands of fate. Huh? That's absurd. What are the possible odds of someone surviving that? The odds are far too high to take a chance on. One would have to be inconceivably fortunate. You did not play, right? Well, if she did play, she will be not here speaking with all of us, that's for sure. Who will dare risk such a gamble if they were not certain they would survive? Mrs. George clenched. Did she really not play the round? That said, I'm showing my hand because I want to suspend my disbelief. Huh? I sincerely want to trust you all. So I hope you can trust me as well after I've revealed this wretched thing. I wish for you to believe that no danger is to be contrived from me, as I have no intention to harm any of you. She carefully folded the cloth back over the revolver. Have any of you heard of a concept called the Stockdale Paradox? I can't say that I have, and neither am I. I'll explain. It's a philosophy of duality, named after a vice presidential candidate. The Stockdale Paradox is a concept in which one must never lose faith that they will prevail in the end, while still confronting the cruel facts of their reality. It's a paradox of the self. An individual has to be able to balance the horrors of reality with the optimism of success to be truly able to overcome the worst situations. This mindset, the acknowledgement of two opposing sides is paramount in achieving one's goals. One mustn't get so hopeful they ignore the gravity of their grave surroundings. In our case, we must balance. I think this was a grammatical error, I guess. We must balancing the hope that we will escape these clutches of this place against the despair of ultimate death within the walls. The 4 of us were petrified. Hope? Despair? It was hard to process. Thank you for placing trust in us, Missy. We will not let you down. Canon remained silent but nodded in agreement at Forte's statement. Thanks, Missy. You're risking a lot, but if none of us plan to kill, then there really shouldn't be anything to worry about. Of course there should not be anything to worry about. We're all reasonable people, but fear is a powerful tool. By showing you this item and telling you my intentions, I hope to display any fear among us. I see. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding. I could not believe how bold Missy was being. She could have easily left the gun in her room, out of sight, essentially out of our realm of existence, where no one could cause harm with it. But she was venturing with high hopes that our group had truly had no ill will. Everyone agreed. No one would dare fire the gun. Even so, in a game of killing, a weapon presented itself seemingly out of nowhere. Stranger so, it seemed like some students were left with some sort of item in their rooms upon waking up. First Canon remarking upon her camera, then Ashley having Silva's racing helmet, and finally Missy with a revolver. And we don't have anything to have? I will take guess that a Forte is supposed to be some kind of magical items, like revolves around the opera. But I also recall Forte having something that was seemingly out of place from the mansion. When he took care of me after I was shocked, he had I think it was a scarf, wasn't it? Let's say a scarf. Yeah, I was correct. He has a scarf draped over his shoulders since I first met him. Oh, oh, that's the wrong answer. Okay. A mask? Okay, there were masks in the theater, but not the person. Okay, a sheet music. That's weird, because a sheet music is something quite related to the opera. But whatever game, I guess your logic is just different compared to me. That's right. He was living through some sheet music. I wonder, what was the meaning of this? Ooh. Whoa, what was that? As I pondered this strange trend, the sound of glass shattering filled the room. Oh. Is someone destroying the property? Our group glanced at each other for a moment before running off to the source of the sound. Was it from above? Oh, okay, it's from the dining hall. Through the dining hall and into the kitchen, the sound persisted louder and louder. There we found Lyle and the kitchen itself in a state of disarray. Broken glass and battered metal littered the floor as Lyle clutched a metal pipe, aiming for the oven. Lyle, what on earth are you doing? Have you lost your mind? What's it look like I'm doing? I'm testing the rules. The rules state that we are not to damage major assets, yet here I am, breaking everything. And so far, nothing has happened. Don't you understand? The rules aren't enforced. Art would not have had to kill Pandora. He would not have had to die by our vote. In the circumstance of a game, rules are placed to create restriction, and yet there is no arbiter or custodian or mastermind here to punish us for breaking the rules. So why should we be following the rules in the first place? We thought our lives were threatened since we were trapped by that electrocuting door. Did that even actually happen? No, Lyle, that actually did happen. What do you mean? Of course that happened. Why would I lie about something like that? You were the only one who was afflicted by it. For all I know, Echo, you're the mastermind behind this. What? You collapsed, and Forte, in his good-natured heart, came running to your aid. That collapse could have been entirely fake. Because of that, we were simply trapped by our own fears. Be that as it may, the fact remains that the door was armed and is currently barricaded. There can't be no reason for that. Despite Forte's observation, Lyle ignored him. He was completely absorbed in his thoughts. Art didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. He did not have to die. He was muttering to himself as his grip tightened on the pipe. Lyle's eyes gleamed with intent. Those enraged eyes locked into mine as he dropped the pipe, the metal crushing the glass debris into dust. I'm not going to die. Not after him. Oh, I guess you was watching the kitchen as well. With impeccable timing, an announcement rang through the halls. It is now 9 AM, and welcome to the day 4 of 7. We were already halfway through. How exciting! However, there are far too many people alive right now, and we need to fix that. Today's first motive question is: do you believe your talent can benefit all of humanity? Yes, as ultimate students at the top of your field, society will expect you to contribute yourselves and respective talents to the world as a whole. Ponder this question as we set up our next motive for you all. Coming soon to ultimate students everywhere. Ha 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 ha! I listened to the announcement best I could, but the rest of the group paid no attention. Instead, they were trying to calm Lyle after his spiel. Lyle, we want to leave too, believe me, but we should put our heads together and come up with a plan instead of wrecking everything. No, you only get in the way. Lyle aggressively pushed his way through us, leaving the diner hall for the foyer, with Missy giving chase. Lyle, stop it! Stop following me! I alone will piece together the secrets of this awful killing game, if I'm not the ultimate puzzle master. Hey, but you need help as well, and you are the one with the most... let me rephrase it. You are the ones that needed help the most. I know you still mourn because of both of Pandora and Arch's death, specifically for Arch's death. Cyrus was right. If I don't act now, nothing will get done. You spoke to Cyrus? I ran into him this morning in the kitchen. He doesn't concern me in the slightest. With how Cyrus is behaving now, there's no telling what will happen next. You really ought to be careful around him. Lyle ignored Mrs. Please and marched over to the elevator, slamming the buttons. He turned around and held up a fist with a crumbled piece of paper in it. I swear I will find the person who knows the secret of this note. That's the only clue Art left me, and I will do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this. Lyle gave us one last parting glare before entering the elevator. Click. The elevator doors closed, leaving the rest of us in a state of bewilderment. With Lyle on edge as it is, a talk with Cyrus sounds like a recipe for disaster. What do you suppose he's going to try now? I can only surmise Lyle might be going to the third floor to scour the area for the other students. It's a new location that needs to be turned over after all. Forte and Missy sighed in unison. Let us hope he doesn't do anything reckless. But just after Forte said that, I heard footsteps at the top of the stairs. Cyrus. Cyrus replied in a nonchalant manner, but his face was different. In the light of day, Cyrus' expression was twisted into something disconcerting. Missy and Cyrus exchanged fierce looks once more, only this time the two of their emotions were catalyzed. Before we could react, Missy moved swiftly to pursue Cyrus at the top of the stairs. Missy, wait! What are you doing? Ashley went to chase after her, but Missy's firm voice stopped Ashley in her tracks. Don't worry, I'm confident nothing will happen here. I'd like a word with this informant. She announced her vague plan as she arrived at the top of the stairs and forcefully grabbed Cyrus by the arm. Wait, how fast she has to run, or either Cyrus never moves at all? Cyrus didn't say a word. Rather, he just made a disgusted face as Missy pushed him into the jazz club. She slammed the door and silence befell the group. Should we be concerned? Missy has a plan. I have faith she will carry it out to execution with the least casualties. Yeah, Missy Ultimate Tactician probably has some cards up her sleeve. Let's just leave her be. Canon made a rather snide remark, but that said, it seemed like everyone was confident that Missy had a plan, seeing as no one went to pursue her. I hate in here. Why don't we carry on the investigation ourselves? Investigation? Of what? The mansion. We still haven't found a way out of this place. I agree. The third floor opened up last night, so there could be an opportunity for escape. Canon, would you like to join me? Missy proposed traveling in pairs to protect ourselves, so if I may. Sure. With a stern reply, Canon briskly began escalating the foyer stairs. Excuse us. Forte followed suit, which left me and Ashley in the foyer. We should check out the third floor again, now that the amenities are open, and hopefully we'll find those other students. Her voice was low. Ashley was pale with worry. There were signs of her friend Silva being here as well, the helmet and his personal room on the third floor. But the fact that we hadn't run into anyone for 3 days was cause for concern. I didn't want to say anything though. Ash, I'm sure we'll find Silva and the others. Ashley's eyes softened. Thanks, Echo. She gave me a smile once more before starting towards the stairs. I began to follow, but something was tugging at me. Hey, Ash, should we take the gun? Ashley hesitated. I think we should trust Missy. We should trust anyone. It's ridiculous though. I mean, trust is such a lofty, intangible concept. Who can say whether or not someone would uphold it? Echo, are you saying you won't? Of course not. It's just. Then that's that. Huh? Missy wants to believe in us. And I'm guessing from our observed behavior during the trial last night, she has no reason to believe any of us are malicious. In fact, the one person she thinks is the most dangerous is Cyrus, and she's dealing with him personally. She placed her trust in us. Now we just have to trust her. It's a give and take. I see. Trust. I pondered the concept as we made our way toward the third floor. Yeah, I hope that gun would not be the evidence for the culprit to do the crime. Upon arriving at the third floor, Ashley and I saw Cannon and Forte just entering the garage. Ashley herself revisited the floor with Silva's school emblem and tugged at the doorknob. Locked. Figures. She knocked lightly a couple of times, but to no avail. Her eyes were dark. Hey, maybe those other students are just gathered somewhere else in the building. It's a pretty big place. This whole floor was hidden from us for a while after all. Ashley snapped out of her trance. Her concerned gaze met mine. Yeah, we'll see them soon enough. She lightly caressed the door before returning to my side. Well, let's see if we can't find anything on this floor. Cannon and Forte would just went to the garage. So why don't we check out the other rooms in the meantime? Let's see. Yeah, the art galleries. Let's visit the art gallery. Crossing the third. Sorry, I have to drink that for a second. Crossing the third floor hall, we came upon the spacious art gallery. Among the room pairs, this room was connected to the garage by a set of double doors on its right wall. It's very picturesque and modern. Yeah, the whole environment is really inviting. Could some kind of exit or clue really be hidden in a place like this though? I guess we'll find out. The art gallery was situated in a warehouse-styled room. The high open ceilings adorned with bright lights gave way to several painted canvases that decorated the walls. Is it just me or this is going to be the next place where we find the victim's body? I don't know, it's just my prediction. Large, colorful work tablets were lined up in the center, facing a small stage that held a sculpture up for the artist to see. One off to the side was an inside closet stocked with shelves chock full of supplies. Ashley seemed to be out of sorts. I wanted to talk and take her mind off her worries for a little bit. So, I suppose I did have an ultimate talent Sorry, that's a wrong voice. So, I suppose I did have an ultimate talent after all. What do you suppose I meant to do with it? Well, it helped during the trial. That aside, I'm not even sure what kind of practical uses it has. Well, you probably could be just that one person who can remember pretty much everything. I remember there was a documentary on the History Channel when the program went to this guy, and this guy can remember pretty much every single thing that he could remember. I think it was Superhumans with the creator of Marvel, Stanley's Superhuman, something like that. I forgot what's the name of the program, but it was on History Channel. But basically, the documentary meets a guy, and this guy could remember every single thing up until a certain point. But the certain point was like 40 years ago. I think he mentioned that at some point during the 60s, his family went into the beach and yeah, just having fun there. That's just so unbelievable. I mean, I barely remember what I did back in my early school days. That aside, I'm not even sure what kind of practical uses it has. Ashley fell quiet instead of Ashley fell quiet, instead focusing her attention on investigating the room at hand. At a loss, we decided to move on. Yeah, let's go see the casino. Let's visit the casino. Oh, there's lots of lions, and that's a very interesting pareidolia feature. I see two eyes here, and this one's supposed to be a nose, I guess. We visited the casino, a dim room with an expensive design. Among the room pairs, this room was connected to the smoke lounge by a set of double doors on its left wall. A casino? I suppose it pairs well with the smoke lounge. I guess some kind of ultimate gambler will thrive here. Yeah, Celeste will definitely thrive here. Oh, I forgot what's the girl's name. Yukiko. I forgot her name. Yeah, it was from a popular manga/anime about gambling. I guess some kind of ultimate gambler will thrive here, but still, this, along with the smoke lounge, seems a bit out of our depth. Well, we're not here for the recreation. Let's see what we can find. We split up and searched between the rows of the slot machines that lined one side of the room and the card tables that occupied the opposite. The slot machines spun listlessly as they sat idly by. The card tables themselves looked rather lonely, no chips or cards adorning the felt. I paced through the room twice over, but didn't spot anything of note. I wanted to try again. Lyle probably has some trick to memorizing different puzzle block patterns. I could ask him, right? Yeah, I think there's usually some kind of math involved, so there's that. Yeah, maybe let's just move on into the next room, I guess. Finding nothing fruitful of note, we move to our next location. Let's see what the smoke lounge is. Yeah, I think we should check the garage as well. I wonder what Canon and Forte finds there. We entered the smoke lounge, a large room with a rustic design. Among the room pairs, this room was connected to the casino by a set of double doors on its right wall. Immediately upon entering, we were met with a heavy, ashy odor. I covered my nose to block the smell, but the air itself felt thick and suffocating. Echo, are you okay? I'm fine. I just wasn't expecting the air to be so dry. Let's try to make this quick. What kind of group would allow students access to a smoke lounge? That seems irresponsible. Yeah, what kind of ultimate talent could utilize this room anyway? Well, there's this bar and wine glass here. I guess the ultimate bartender could do some works here, I guess. Who knows? Let's just take a quick look for some sort of exit and move on. I glazed over the room from one end to the other with a single sweeping look. It was a decadent looking set. The leather seating and fine woodcraft tables were cozy, each table housing a small candle for a comforting effect. The far wall had shelves upon shelves of fine beverages locked behind a glass case with a bar to match on the opposite side. See? Yeah, the ultimate bartender will be a really good usefulness in here. Well, let me rephrase that. The ultimate bartender would show his or her usefulness in this place. It was a highly refined atmosphere overall that felt unwelcoming to those of us who didn't indulge in this sort of recreation. I poked around in areas I thought might be suspicious, but didn't really know what to look for. We kept coming up short in our investigation, shuffling the length of the rooms in silence. I stopped peppering Ashley with questions pertaining to my talent. She clearly wasn't in a mood to address it. Oh, Echo? Ashley sighed. This whole ultimate debacle, such a thing has no bearing on what we have. You don't need to find any sort of use for the talent. I could not tell you what all a jockey could do for the future. Was it too much to simply wish for safety? That in return, we must contribute everything in our power to get something So basic. I wish the project weren't so incessantly utilitarian. I wish the project weren't so incessantly utilitarian about our challenge. Another heavy sigh. Pandora said something like that on the third day in response to the false motive question that baking was simply her passion. Sorry, the talent assignment was so weird and out of nowhere, to be honest. I'm not even sure I believed it. I just wanted to talk to take your mind off. I let the sentence hang. I didn't know where to go from there. Thanks, Echo. We kept looking. And eventually we found nothing, I guess. Or maybe we go to the garage and meeting up with Canon and Forte. The three rooms we visited were stocked with decadent supply of recreation, but the fact that we could not find an exit nor any signs of life were cause for concern. Our entrapment felt more and more isolating with each discovery. There's one more room to check. I wonder if Canon and Forte have finished their investigation. No reason not to join them if they haven't. Oh, I was wrong. There's lots and lots of cars in here. Is that a Ford GT90? How did the school manage to get that? That's a very rare vehicle. I never seen one personally in my real life with my eyes. I only saw them based on documentaries about cars. This is an Aston Martin, I guess either DB10 or DB9 or DB11 or maybe Vanquish. This one's Ferrari, I can't see, maybe California? I mean, this setting is in the US, so it would make sense. This is a Rolls Royce, this is an old one, old Rolls Royce model. Time to, I think it was the Ghost. And this one's definitely based on Lamborghini Murcielago. I mean, take a look at the wheel rims there. You might not see it, but it reminds me of one. Ashley and I entered the garage through its heavy double doors. There weren't any sign of Forte or Canon in the room. There was another warehouse-sized room that housed a large collection of vehicles. Hang on, what's this car? Trying to remember what this is. Maybe like Venturi? A Venturi Atlantic? That's another car that's very rare as well. It was made in limited numbers. I don't even think the car company Venturi still exists as of right now. Maybe, no, it had a pop-up headlight, so I guess Mazda RX-8 or something? I mean, if you take a look at here, that's the Maserati logo, that's the Devil 16 logo. Is this supposed to be the Devil 16? I don't think so. Yeah, that's Porsche, that's Lotus, that's I couldn't remember which one. This is Maserati, that's the Vel, that's Lotus, that's Porsche, that's Triumph. Triumph did make cars, but I don't remember the models, like Triumph Stack. That's the only model I could remember. This one's, I have no idea what's this logo. This one's as well. I think this was from America, or maybe Mercedes-Benz because it has a three-pointed star or something. I have no idea. Maybe it's like an old logo of Mercedes-Benz. I have no idea. A car collection? Huh? I turned around to see Ashley shaking. Is this a joke? Ash? This is some kind of sick joke, isn't it? I went to Ashley's side but was struck away as she stumbled toward a cobalt blue race car. She laid her hands on the hood of the car and stared a hole through the windshield. Oh, this is Silver's car. The look on her face was filled with mixed emotions. Oh no. I gripped her shoulders firmly and shook her out of her daze. Ash, snap out of it. Oh, that's a brand new sprite there. Ashley blinked and took a step back, but her head was hanging low. Echo, this is a sign. It can't be simply a coincidence, can it? Her voice trailed off. It seems we came to the same conclusion. It was entirely possible that Silva was also captured, made to play a killing game. But she would never want to hear that. Or maybe Silva was here, like maybe at some point the fourth floor was open before us and we have to make our way to open up the fourth floor by murdering someone, I guess. Ashley, all these signs must be set up to get the rise out of you. Huh? Think about it. The mysterious group infiltrated the preservation project and kidnapped us. They must have known about your fight with Silva and using it against you, using it to vex you, to motivate you into doing something horrible. They're playing mind games with you, Ashley. You don't have to worry about Silva. I told her these things, but they were all a lie. Even so, I could not stand to see her in such despair. Ashley rubbed her eyes and I saw her body relax. Yeah, you could be right. She sniffled out a voice of gratitude. Thanks, Echo. What are friends for? I gave her a small hug. Aww. I'm going to step out into the hall for a bit. If you want to keep looking. Oh, alright. I won't be long then. I let Ashley gather her bearing outside as I gave the garage a brief walkthrough. Unsurprisingly, I found nothing. Yeah, where's Forte and Canon? Did they leave before us coming in? Oh, I left the garage, disgruntled at the lack of clues for escape. Out in the main hall, I spotted Ashley in the midst of conversation with Missy. Echo, you might want to hear this. Huh? What is it? As you know, I had a conversation with Cyrus. Yeah, that was kind of scary. But I'm glad to see you're alright. Worry not, I'm here in one piece. I wanted to bring you to your attention his strange behavior. You see, I tried to reason with him, to talk to him from one person to another, but it's almost as if after he was exposed, he's been putting on a facade. I'm sorry, it's difficult for me to explain this gut feeling I have about him, but I have my suspicions. Zero said Ultimate Charisma wasn't the real Cyrus, but could it be the other way around? The other way around? What do you mean? I was thinking, when Zero uncovered Cyrus's false talent, revealing his true title, Cyrus' behavior became stilted and insincere. Perhaps Charisma truly isn't his talent, but his behavior under that title seemed organic. My apologies, I'm just thinking out loud. Although to see for myself, I wanted to talk some sense about him, but he remained steadfast and stubbornly irksome. If he continues to behave strangely, we might have another tragedy on our hands. I agree. I didn't want to be too hasty, but might I suggest we try to extract information from him with force? With force? Mrs. expression sharpened as she made a definitive decision. I could see her eyes glazing through a plan of action. I will use the gun to threaten him into talking. Make no mistake, I have absolutely no intention of firing it, but Cyrus doesn't need to know that. In that case, let me help you. I'll get rope from the climbing center to bind him in case he thinks of doing something funny. Excellent. I was shocked, but Ashley and Missy were both in agreement. Ashley, quickly, let us make preparation and rendezvous here promptly. We mustn't waste any time with Cyrus roaming around freely. Ashley nodded. The three of us padded down the stairs and split up at the second floor. Landing. Missy continued further down. Ashley and I took a sharp turn towards the climbing center. I was struggling to keep up, but eventually closed the distance between us as she dug through the lockers in search of rope. Isn't this too extreme? Look, it sounds harsh, but it's necessary to prevent further killing. The last thing I would want is to not keep an eye on Cyrus and have you get killed, Echo. No single soul is exempt from death. There's no gray area about it. I understand that, but... Ooh. Before I could finish my thought, a shot was heard ringing through the air. The shot sounded like it came from above. Missy? She must have encountered Cyrus before us. Ashley wrapped a bundle of rope around her forearm, grabbed my hand once more, and darted up the stairs towards the third floor. She stopped me at the foot of the stairs and cautiously looked around the corner at the main hallway. Oh. The sound of another shot exploded through the air. It sounded like it came from the smoke lounge. What was going on? Oh. Wait. Why we go to the art room? Well, why not go instantly to the smoke lounge? Before I realized what was happening, I felt my body move on its own. Ashley had thrown the art gallery's door open and forced me in. Ash, what on earth are you doing? She slammed the door between us as I stumbled in. Echo, take cover here and don't move a muscle until I get back. She commanded me from the other side of the door as I tried to steady my footing. In my state of disselfment, I stayed put, not knowing what else to do. I heard the footsteps soften as she put furthering distance between us. Missy? Oh, I guess Ashley bodies her, taking her down. Oh, there's a fire. I was shaking. I hurtled toward the door. I could not help but fear the worst, attempting to pry the doors open. Oh god, these two fight against each other? But the doors would not budge. Upon closer inspection, the doors had no keyhole or latch that would keep them locked. Huh? Locked? How? I looked around hastily for something to help me get out. Oh yeah, the garage is connected to the art gallery. I can leave through there. I ran to the double doors and that led me to the garage and tucked. But the doors were seemingly blocked. Wait, what? Oh my god, is someone going to die? I mean, it's so fast. I know this is one of the shorter Danganronpa fan games, but oh my god. Looking again, these double doors has nothing preventing them from being open. Somehow, both sets of double doors had been blocked. No way. How could this be happening? I gasped, collapsing to the ground at the inexplicable sound I found myself in. Missy. It's possible. Missy was out there with a gun. That's the fourth shot fired. We only have one shot left. Confronting Ashley, I felt a cold sweat forming on my face. Missy, you asked us to trust you. I could not believe how stupid I was for believing in trust. I should have picked the gun up when it was in the foyer. Yeah, you did. You should have. Trust. Footsteps. I heard footsteps from the main hall side of the doors. Lyle, you must be a raving madman if you think you can run around the building alone. I'm not doing anything suspicious. I'm doing everything I can to get us out of here, unlike the rest of you. And what were you doing poking around in one of the third floor personal rooms anyway? How did you even get in there? That is none of your business. Voices. I heard faint voices from the main hall side of the art gallery. I sprung up from the floor and banged on the door from inside the art gallery. Hey, whoever's out there, let me out! I hammered on the door until my fist fell through the air. Echo? Wait, how do you have the rope, Say? Echo? Say was on the other side of the door, holding a bundle of rope. There's no time to explain. As I was falling all over myself, running towards the sound of the shots. Everything was blurred as I darted across the hall, to the smoke lounge and threw the door open. Oh, Cyrus was dead. Oh my god, we got another body discovery already. It's on the smoke lounge either. Oh god. Missy, Ashley, what in the world happened here? And how did Say have the rope as well? Oh. Cyrus' body was lying face up, blood staining his torso and hands. I sharply inhaled and trembled at the sight. Ah! Say shook out a small startled response before disappearing from the smoke lounge entirely. I stood rooted in place, fear and confusion paralyzing me. The smoke lounge was in a complete state of chaos with Cyrus's bloody body drawing my gaze. So yeah, so Russian roulette, 5 bullets inside the revolver for Russian roulette. Four of the bullets has been shot. There's one left remaining on the revolver. Furniture was strewn about, glass cabinets were shattered and fabric sprinkled the massive floor. My head stung. The miasma of alcohol rushed through my senses, mixed with the thick odor of smoke and metallic scent of blood, creating an awful nausea-inducing headache. Oh no. The double doors that connected the smoke lounge to the casino was ajar. A morbid curiosity took hold. I cautiously approached the slight opening. I pushed slowly and... Oh, no, who's that? Who's that? Ashley, no! Ashley! Ashley, I... Ashley, are you okay? Ashley's body was strewn on the floor, blood staining her hands. All my instinct escaped me and my mind went completely blank. White noise filled my thoughts. No! Did Ashley die as well? We're having chapter 3 and chapter 2 now? I crumpled to the floor beside her, but my hands won't go anywhere near Ashley's body. A slam intruded my daze. Missy, what have you done? Missy! A slam... Did all the bullets have fired now? Because, you know, we heard 4 shots, but there's one still missing. Is the last shot took place in here, in the casino room? Because that would explain that we didn't hear the final shot. Canon and Forte closed in on Ashley's body and were voicing their concern, but I heard nothing. My senses were scrambled. The only thing I heard above the murmur of their voices was the eerie chime indicating a body has been discovered in the smoke lounge. Okay, that's Cyrus's body. You will be granted a period of investigation and then we will begin our class trial. Please accept this generous gift of a special report called the Monokuma file. It will be printed from the digital kiosk and it outlines the details of our poor lost friend. Your life depended on solving this case, so get a crack on. I could feel my whole body shaking. I could not take my eyes off Ashley's body. The body discovery announcement and Ashley's body. No, wait. Wait. There's no body announcement for Ashley. There's one for Cyrus, yes, but Ashley is on the casino room, not in the smoke lounge room. So there should have 2 body announcements where there's only one. Did that mean... I heard footsteps approach from behind. Missy crouched down beside me and rested her hand on my back, lightly shaking me. Echo! Echo! I could not respond. I just sat on the floor, staring. Missy reached past me toward Ashley's body. Missy, could it be? Life moved in slow motion as I tried to connect what I heard outside the gallery to the horrible scene at hand. Missy carefully moved Ashley's hair and gently placed 2 fingers at the side of her neck to check if she's alive or not. Missy, don't you dare touch her. No, Echo, stop. Let Missy do the job because it's to check if Ashley's still alive or not. Yeah, she's alive. She's alive? My heart was pumping and I felt new life breathe into me as I processed the revelation. Look, her bracelet isn't. Look, her bracelet isn't a neon pink. Her pulse is extremely weak, but Ashley is alive nonetheless. We should get her somewhere. Like, there's no medical room in this area, not in this mansion. So I guess we should take her into her room. Isn't there an infirmary anywhere? She needs attention quickly. I'll check the casino kiosk for a map. Canon swiftly left as the rest of us gazed in astonishment. My stare remained on Ashley's bracelet. Missy was right. It remained the same light rose gold color as mine, unlike when Pandora's turned neon pink. Even if that were the case, what was wrong with her? I searched for an infirmary on the kiosk, but it only displays the floors that we've been to. Then, does that mean there isn't one? No, there is an infirmary, but the infirmary is connected to the courtroom. Wait, what? Where is this? Is this still on the same third floor? My body kicked into action as I sprinted out of the casino towards the third floor elevator and slammed the buttons. Echo! I need to get her out of here. Take me to the courtroom. I shouted at nothing as the elevator door refused to open. I continued to hit the button fruitlessly. Echo, please! I know it will be difficult, but it seems we must investigate in order to gain access to the courtroom. Missy had followed me all the way out here. We will not want to enter the trial without preparing ourselves. Therefore, we must work quickly if we are going to bring Ashley's back. Please! I slammed my forehead against the elevator door in defeat. Darn it! Ashley! I let out an immense heavy sigh. My chest heaved and I felt the breath escape in shaky, broken pieces. I'll do whatever it takes. I guess now it's the time for the investigation. Oh, not yet. Why the game isn't giving me one? I dragged my feet as Missy and I made our way to the crime scene. We're doing this again. This horrible, horrible thing. Searching for the culprit behind this sickening scene only to put them on the chopping block for the game to continue anew afterwards. The cycle was torturous. Despite that, Ashley was alive. I tried to clear my head. Yes, Ashley was barely hanging by a thread of life, but she was alive regardless. I need to figure out who did this. Someone took Cyrus' life and threatened Ashley's. There's no gray area about it. There you go. Chapter 2. Deadly Life. Every fire is a lesson learned. And let's see if the game will give us the investigation time. Oh, I guess not. Forte propped open the double doors that kept the smoke lounge and casino separated so we could move freely between them. In the smoke lounge, Lyle stood, looming over Cyrus' body. Say was in the smoke lounge as well, gazing the body from a distance. In the casino, Forte put Ashley in a recovery position and was monitoring her. Conan was standing between the rooms, glaring at the trail of debris. Missy went to investigate the smoke lounge, and I was left to look on my own. There you go. Investigation commences, and we're going to end this episode right here. I know this has been such a long episode, and I'm going to have to save here. Just wait a second. Yeah, there you go. Wow, that was something else. Couldn't believe Cyrus is dead now. The informant that we were supposed to getting the information is now dead. And yeah, we will see in the next episode the investigation and hopefully the class trial as well. Let's just hope that the investigation time will not going to be as long as, let me rephrase that. I hope that the investigation time is not as long as the previous episode, so I can do both of them, both the investigation time and the class trial. Or if it's too long for my own taste, then I will leave it like a 2 separate videos. So one focus on the investigation and the other is for the class trial. But anyway, yeah, we end this video. I end this video right here because it has been such a while since I record this. And yeah, let's see if the roster actually gets updated. Oh no. Yeah, it's still I guess the game still thinks that Arturo is still alive, and now like Cyrus is dead as well. So yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. This is Azroy Galcon signing it off, and I'll see you in the next episode or in the next videos. Maybe the next video might be a Danganronpalapse as well. The next episode, well, yeah, maybe. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is Azroy Galcon signing it off, and I'll see you in the next videos. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.